Mira Business FM, where business comes to talk.
It's the morning drive here at Mira Business FM with me, Tim Elliott, and AI next, which is, it's not just a technology question. You may have heard me say that a few moments ago. It's become a human question, and across the region, we're seeing organizations investing heavily in AI, but many struggling to move beyond kind of pilots or surface level use. And the challenge isn't really access or ambition, it's how people adapt, it's how they build confidence, and it's how they learn to work alongside machines in a way that kind of genuinely changes behavior. It's us getting to grips with it, I think. Mohammed AlKhotani is the Senior VP and General Manager of Middle East for Salesforce, which is an AI CRM, a customer relationship platform. Good to have you here, Mohammed.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
You're very
Excited
welcome.
for our conversation. Thank you.
It's good to meet you. Look, we're considering the impact of AI on the workplace, and I guess this is one of those questions at the moment that so many people are thinking about. And it's essential, isn't it, to ask the right questions to understand the implications and the opportunities. A question like, what aspects of my job could potentially be automated by AI would be a pretty good starting point for a lot of people.
Well, I mean, it's a very good starting point, as you mentioned. And it starts, I would say, with analyzing what do we do on day-to-day basis in terms of tasks that are really and actually important. And the recent researches showed that 41% of the tasks, with all of the automation that we have currently, still considered low-value tasks.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want your employees to waste time on. You want them to be focused on more strategic elements in things that are actually important. I mean, to take any job as an example, I mean, let's take the content that we're speaking about today. Preparing for this content before AI or before online used to take ages, a lot of research, a lot of manual work. But this can be done much faster with AI because you're technically can get ready, equipped, you can be an expert in a topic without actually really going through all of the studies. So there is a lot of legwork that's been automated there, which allows your time to be utilized in more important things, more important researches, more important tasks that rather than, almost half of that would be consumed in low-value tasks.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? It really, it seems to be that we're still doing that legwork, and AI could help us. Whether it's being more strategic, we could be more focused, we could be more creative, were we to understand the importance of, it's about harnessing this.
Yeah. I mean, exactly, and it's not either or. It's how you get the best of both worlds together, because there are still things like, I don't know, leadership, storytelling, emotional connections that AI still can do. So basically, and AI is still evolving, so maybe AI can do those things. I mean, we're talking about agentic nowadays and how agentic is picking up and really doing skyrocketing achievements and results. But as of now, still, it's a partnership between both worlds to get the best out of them and to conduct a more quality product in a shorter time.
It's important to highlight the skills that make people unique, I think, the potential impact of AI on those skills. So identifying those unique human skills a particular employee possesses that AI might struggle to replicate. It's that kind of separation line, isn't it, that we have at the moment?
I don't think we're ready for it. We're still experimenting a lot of tasks and use cases for AI for us to define that. And I don't think there will ever be a separation or a line of separation. Yeah. I'll tell you why, and I'll give an example. Because now, when AI was introduced, it also introduced fear in decision makers that they don't want to miss the train, they don't want to be, the FOMO impact, And I've met many technology leaders who actually went shopping, and I'm using the word shopping for a reason, with all of the latest technologies in, CPUs, GPUs, building data centers, investing in power infrastructure, because they don't want to miss the train. And they ended up with a super expensive infrastructure, but the impact on business was very low. because it wasn't driven top bottom. It was driven from a kitchen. Like if you want to open a restaurant, you go, spend your money on those most expensive stoves, ovens, fridges, freezers.
Sure.
Then you don't have a chef, or you don't have the right ingredients, and then you don't have the right recipes. You will end up with an expensive kitchen. But the first thing, I think, what I would always advise business leaders is how you can redesign and reimagine your business today. Like you pick any industry, I don't know, in retail or airlines or real estate. How is the business today, and how this business can be revamped tomorrow? Which clients are not contributing to my revenue today? How I can be faster and more agile? How can I equip my employees with information at their fingertip? How can they respond to my clients in milliseconds? How can they know their journeys with me end to end, wherever they are, whether they are in a shop or in a call center or in a sales office or cold calling to develop pipeline? So those are the questions that business needs to answer, and then come up with use cases that are legit for the business, and then develop the right infrastructure with it. Because bottom up is an okay approach, but it's costly and not necessarily will end up in a huge impact on the business.
There's also the pace of change in AI and AI development as well, isn't there? Keeping up is almost impossible. So let me ask you about your AI fluency playbook that you've just recently published. What this does is it looks at the shift to working alongside machines, right? So to harnessing AI as a tool through a very human lens. And one of the things that you contend, and I think this is an interesting approach, is how we adapt to AI emotionally and how we adapt practically to AI. We're getting better, aren't we? Slowly but surely.
We are indeed, and we use also Salesforce as an example of utilizing AI. Our global CEO is a big believer that we are, and not will be, we are the last generation that will witness human-only employees. And soon enough, we will have to learn, coming back, to managing the emotions, how to manage a digital employee and a human employee. And this is because of the adoption that we saw from utilizing AI within Salesforce. We have AI embedded in almost every function, every tool, online tool that we use. If you go to help.salesforce.com, you are talking actually to Agentforce, who is our AI agent,
Right.
that processed in the first year more than 2 million conversations, with, I would say, more than 70% solved without human interaction. And the AI agent was intelligent enough to know when to escalate a topic that is not solvable by an AI to a human being. Imagine how this was, the 70%, if it was handled by humans in the past. What would this mean in terms of manpower, in terms of time, in terms of cost, in terms of customer satisfaction, I would say, because you're taking time until you answer, until you get to them, until you search for the information. But it's really contributing to the speed of how we do things, more than replacing humans. Being more productive, more agile, achieving better results, better customer satisfactions. So he comes from our CEO comes from that mindset, and this is why the human aspect and the emotional aspect is equally important, because soon enough we will be managing digital employees.
It's a wild concept, but you're absolutely right. It's not something I've spent a lot of time thinking about. Okay, so according to research, your own research, AI adoption has changed at scale. So 85% of employees now feel confident using AI, which is good news. So we're really getting there. It's part of your everyday life. If you search, you're using AI almost immediately with the summaries of whatever you search. What's helped us move from that kind of resistance, that anxiety that you feel, to confidence and daily use, do you think?
I mean, analyzing history is important because we have gone through multiple industrial revolutions in the past. And in every revolution, humans were afraid that they would be replaced by the steam machine. Or when in the 2000, or 90s and the 2000, when computers evolved and internet was introduced, we were afraid that we would be replaced by computers and then would be replaced by robots. We're still there.
Yeah, we are.
Hopefully we make it after AI, but
Just about.
yeah, exactly. But so the fear is always there. However, what happens, the process that we go through always is new jobs will be redefined. I don't know if you take mailing, for example, posts, and how we moved from a postman passing by houses, delivering envelopes, all the way to a click on a screen and becoming electronic. Okay, the postman job died, but another 10 was introduced in the exchange server for the email, the network connection engineer, the technicians, the utility and the power and the connectivity, the cooling in the data center. So you have a multiple of impact, and the predictions are we will have more jobs introduced. I think 6 or 8. I really can't remember the exact number. I can find it out, but by 2028 to 2030, more jobs will be introduced because we are entering a completely new things. And if you take any business process, like in selling and buying, in procurement, for example, the RFP and the tender process. I remember the days, not so long ago, by the way, 10, 15 years ago, when it was an envelope, you take the envelope, you submit your responses, and now you just upload a file on a link in less than a minute. So yes, some jobs disappeared, but trust me, multiple X's more jobs were introduced.
It's just the pain, isn't it, that we have to go through when these things happen. A couple of years ago, I took my son to the post office with me, and I needed to post a letter to the tax authority. Right? It's quite an important thing to do, but because of the parking, I'm like, look, you jump in, just post it, just go and buy the stamp, post it, and then jump back out, and I'll go around the block. And I hadn't thought this through. He had no clue what you do in a post office, really what a stamp was. He had to go to all these different guys at different desks just to send me a letter. Because things have moved on, and he's at another stage from me. And that's one of the things in human existence that, when the machines first appeared, the Luddites wanted to smash the machines. These were evil devils, and we don't need them. We have to get to a point where we help people understand that, unfortunately, evolution moves forward, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, correct.
In business and in life.
Correct, because if you technically think about it, the moment we wake up till we sleep, we make decisions.
We do. Yeah.
And when you make a decision, it's a process of a risk mitigation exercise. So every decision you want to take in a day, you evaluate the risk until it's within an acceptable level, and then you decide and you move on. Imagine you have help removing the stress from you, helping you analyzing stress every day, and that can be somehow not outsourced, but collaboratively done with a digital agent who can do the research for you, who can help you analyze it, who can help you feed you with information and to make your job faster and easier and I would say less stressful.
So human AI collaboration should save us so much work time. It should improve efficiency. It should help with decision making. When it comes to integrating AI, the mindset needs to be, how can I augment or enhance my current role rather than replace it? That's where we have to get to.
Not only a role, the whole business. Okay, let's take an example. Let's take let's take airlines, for example. In airlines, it's one of the most complex industries because it runs by the second. You have a lot of heavy operation. You have multiple systems to run it, from booking systems to flight operations, managing the crew, the catering, the back end for your financials, and the customer experience journey, which we do at Salesforce. And imagine the amount of manual efforts that is there with the automation that is available today to get to data and make sense of the data where it is an information where I can decide something on. And you want to fly to a destination, you call, let's say, take the call center role or a function within an airline. You would wait for a couple of minutes, somebody answers. The expectation is of today that you know me by my phone number before answering. You know where I'm flying. You know where I flew. What's my status? How many miles do I have? Am I happy or unhappy customers? How many tickets I logged in the past year? Do you expect my level, and instead of me, I have a flight from Dubai to London, flying tomorrow, I need to put seats together, or, I want to I want to change something, I want to, and re-explaining yourself every time you call the airline. That's what I'm talking about. How I can redefine the whole customer experience process with an airline with AI tools where I can make that agent, phone agent, or maybe it could be an AI agent answering the phone. But let's take the example now as a human agent, empowered, equipped, where I make him an expert with everything he needs to know that human at that exact time in real time, not 2 hours later or 3 hours later or a week later, that in that moment. This requires a huge integration with different data sources from all of the systems I mentioned, be it loyalty system, back-end reservations, flight operations, etc., and getting those data, analyzing them quickly, and feeding what's important to the agent. Human being and the current technology stack, it's close to impossible because the efforts that needs to be done technically is so complex. But with AI, analyzing structured and unstructured data, being able to feed that information quickly, providing a summary, suggestion on the next step, predicting even the next step. And I just took a simple function, a role of a call center agent in one industry. But I would say businesses don't need only to think of how they predict the future, but I think they need to shape it. And how an airline, for example, can be entering a new business completely, a lifestyle business. I mean, if I'm an airline, I fly 20 or 30 or 40 million passengers a year. I have a data of 20, 30 million. I know what they like, what they don't like, where they live, which cities they fly to. And I can provide many other services. I can redefine my partnerships with, I don't know, healthcare providers, with gyms, with, I don't know, different subscriptions. I can move to subscription model. My points can be utilized in so other different means, So it's redefining the whole business. And I'm just throwing ideas out of my brain. But honestly, if you take that concept and apply it to any industry, in retail, in real estate, in family businesses, in telco, you would figure out that things are absolutely possible today. I can tap into totally new revenue streams because technology made it possible and made me super, super fast in executing the day-to-day tasks. So whenever I go to a role and I say, okay, AI will help me search, it's not that, honestly. It is way deeper in reviewing what you do as a business, how you exist, why you exist as a business, and how you can generate revenue streams. Then you go to roles, and how can I embed it, how can I regulate it, how I can trust it, how I can test it, and then take baby steps towards a complete new revolution. Because I do believe those functions will be redefined. Businesses will be redefined as well.
You're painting a very different, a very detailed picture of AI being right at the heart of everything we do. The thing is, AI is kind of a mishmash at the moment of knowledge, and it's disparate. It collects from so many different sources. So trust is still an issue, how accurate some of the responses are, how we need to prompt. So it's key, I think, to consider the ethical implications of AI, to make sure that we're using it responsibly, using it fairly. So what kind of ethical standards should guide AI use?
I think it's quite advanced in terms of governance. I think the most important thing is transparency. So any organization that uses AI should declare, should be transparent with their clients on that the usage of AI. It should be monitored, tested. Data sources should be reviewed. Data governance should be there as well. Data residency laws locally in any country should be also followed. So I believe every regulation should be studied, should be implemented, but the most important thing is transparency with the outside world when AI is used and when AI is not used.
Let's take a broader view beyond just the business, the technology, and consider the human and cultural impact of AI on work, on productivity, on creativity, and also confidence that we've mentioned before. How does AI reshape creative and knowledge-based work?
In our day-to-day basis, and if you took, again, go back to airline, for example, or let's pick another one, retail, for example, you have how many products in a supermarket, how many clients visit you. you need to think that you always have, in the customer experience world, two journeys together. Your customers and how you segment them, family, a couple, single, married, not married, and so on, and what are their needs, because the segmentation for you is important for you to sell and grow your business, as well as your product journey and how the product is designed to meet the requirements of those customers. Okay. That's heavy data, heavy. How many SKUs you have in a retail shop? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, and how you can tailor those products to each customer segment. If we go back to airlines, matching a holiday destination with a person who likes, beaches and who traveled always to an island in his past 5 to 10 years is important. I wouldn't suggest a huge city, New York, as a holiday destination. I would stay within what they like. And it's more even complex in airlines because you combine different products to come up with a holiday product as a package. So you combine a resort with an airplane, with a category, an economy or a business or a first class, time. So you have a lot of things that you need to analyze in terms of data for you to suggest the right product to that customer. So you always have this customer journey to keep segmenting and improving your segmentation, and a product journey to help always categorizing the products the right way to meet those client standards. And that's AI would provide huge help there in knowing, suggesting, executing how those two journeys should go hand in hand. Because just to add one thing, 86% of people who lives here in Dubai expect more personalized journeys. I don't want to see the content on your website like you're similar to mine. No, it has to be. You have to know me. It have to be. It has to be more personalized. If you take government services, for example, are so advanced. I mean, you can renew a license in less than an hour. You can, do a car registration in half an hour. You can get your passport renewed in a day and printed and delivered to your home. So those are luxuries because this is the must-have things. I'll renew my passport if it is renewed in a month or in a day.
Oh, these are standards.
Yeah, those are standard and given, and we take them for granted. So imagine the same persona is dealing with your business of nice-to-have products, booking a holiday. I can take it from you or another 100 providers. Why would I take it from you? I'm willing to pay more, but I need similar experience to what I'm doing with other automated services. So this is why analyzing those two lines and the customer journey with your product journey is always important, and how data is heavily analyzed with the help of AI would take you to a totally new level.
There's a lot more I wanted to ask you. We're out of time, unfortunately, but it's been fascinating, genuinely. Mohammed AlKhotani is Senior VP, General Manager, Middle East for Salesforce. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.
It's Mirror Business FM. This is The Morning Drive.